Rick, we're back again. When we start talking, we can't stop. I do want to get inside of this book, and you've been through this book ever since. I want to know, like, which one is like this part. I'm sure your book is like highlighted like crazy and all that other stuff, and you slept with it and did all kinds of stuff. So tell me your like first impression of the book, and then as you're reading over and over, what was like the everlasting impression? I want the first impression, the everlasting impression.
Well, the book is The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. And the copy that I have, um, I found a PDF version for free online. That's what kind of the one that got me going. But I always like to have the copy of a book in there. So whenever I was at the Barnes and Noble, I picked up a copy of the book. It was $6.95. And what was interesting about this book was that this guy wrote it back in, let's see, the early was 1918, I believe, was the first copyright. Yeah, this guy was 1860 to 1911. So yeah, the first one was 1910. 1910, and so what I was reading in this book was very. I hadn't seen it in any of my business books in MBA school, didn't see it in college. They didn't teach it to me in high school, that's for sure. So no, nothing in high school, nothing in college, and but really what he talks about here is that there's there's an abundance of the thinking stuff out there, in which everything is made from. And you're one of the very first people that helped me realize this is that whatever comes out of our bodies, whether it be by voice or written down or something that we've done with our hands or that we do with our bodies, has to originate in the brain or in the mind. And it goes a little deeper than that, but it has. We can think up what we want to do, and if you look around you, I mean, just look at the technology, how it's changed from, there's no more records because they've got the CDs. There's hardly any more CDs because they're going to MP3 files. There's hardly, so there's all this evolution, and there's guys that are out there thinking this stuff up, and they're making life better for everybody. And so that to me proved that what he's saying in his book is true. If there's a problem, somebody can create the solution for it.
So you said something right here. When we're reading from our mind. But let's also align it with the Bible. As a man thinketh in his heart, is the thinking is in the brain or is it really a heart activity where it's emotional and it's like passionate or it's just the
Well,
level of logic?
well, you're right. At the beginning, when I was reading this book, until it sinks into you, it stays in the brain. It stays as an intellectual event as you're reading it. But as I learned more about me, myself, my abilities, my capabilities, I said, that's all God given. All what we do is God given. So, and then once you start believing that you have these abilities and capabilities, then that comes from the heart because then you say, how can I use this for my team? How can I use this for Robert? How can I use this for Peter? How can I help others with what I know? And that's all from the heart. It's not from mind thinking.
Yeah, so you went beyond yourself. Cool. Great, great. That's a compassionate thinking. So let's see, one more thing in there. Certainty. Could you elaborate that? And
How
then
much time we have on a little video for certainty? You want to say that as a whole?
yeah, I wanna just give me a little like 10-second preview because I wanna say that on the next
Okay,
video.
that's good. All right, here we go. So the certainty, the main crux of this philosophy is doing things in a certain way. That the science of getting rich basically means that you do things in a certain way. So people that are rich do things in a certain way. And it took me 2 years almost to figure this out. That the word certain has two meanings.
Okay,
One
it
is
has two meanings. Well, let's talk
two
about
meanings.
that on the next part of the video.